Hello everyone, and welcome to the DevCast, a weekly podcast for all Roblox-related content and personal up-close interviews and conversations with some of your favorite Roblox creators. I am your host, Dev for Hire, and I am here with our co-host, Penguin Plays. Today, we will be hosting our weekly news roundup, where we will be discussing all the great Roblox news that has happened this week. Let's get into it. Today we have a couple of topics to discuss. One of the topics today is a Roblox creator makes a GTA San Andreas map on Roblox. Second is the Roblox swag pack controversy, coupled with the Roblox new Talent Hub, which will be releasing soon. Phase 3 Roblox lighting release. The Ready Player 2 event with Ernst Klein and David Baszucki. The Roblox atmospheric clouds. The RB Battles event. The Holiday Developer Game Jam event, the top contributor role being removed from the dev forums, the 90% market fee drops down to 30%, and Roblox's possible new competitor, Blankos. Finally, with China approving Roblox amongst 42 imported games. Tune in to the DevCast to find out more. Now let's get started. Okay, so let's get into our first topic. So a Roblox creator actually essentially made GTA San Andreas, the whole entire map. I mean, I find that a bit ridiculous. I mean, that's I don't really have the the patience to make a map that size. So, I mean, I find that quite crazy. I mean, just imagine the time and the patience. So the person who essentially made it, his name is Otter on Twitter, and his actual Twitter handle is called Chill Bunny, with at Chill Bunny. So in his tweet, he says essentially, after 19 months, I am proud to announce that San Andreas is done. Thank you all to the people who have been supporting me. This has been the greatest creation I have ever made in my life so far, and I'm happy to know how it came out. I'm happy to how it came out. Hashtag Roblox Dev, hashtag Roblox Devs, hashtag Roblox GTA. So, yeah. Any thoughts, Penguin?
I mean, who has the time to actually commit to finishing something that scale, unless they spent maybe 40 to 50 hours on it, but that could be very excessive.
Because I know, like, some developers are even in... Oh, sorry about that. I think I probably interrupted.
No worries.
Yeah.
But depending on what skill level you have, you probably could make that game relatively easy, because the style of the roads aren't very curved in a traditional real life, in America GTA maps, all of their roads are all T-junctions and crossroads. So for creating is actually quite easy. But then getting all the textures for the building is another story, I imagine. And I envy that creator for such a torturous task of making GTA
San Andreas, the whole entire map. I mean, I'm just so baffled by it. I can just imagine just all the texture work that had to go into it. I think that's the most tedious thing ever, I think, is the whole entire texture work.
If it was me, I'd be listening to non-stop pop while making that.
I don't know what type of tune or what type of music I would have to go into, and just have to listen.
Non-stop pop.
Yeah, it's non-stop pop.
Is the one. It's the GTA music channel.
GTA music.
I'm probably going to have controversy for saying that, because I bet some people really don't like non-stop pop. That's my my fav.
Well, it does help with motivation, I have to say. Well, when you're creating, any sort of project, sometimes listening to the actual theme music of whatever it is actually helps you. For example, if you're making a Game of Thrones game, sometimes that Game of Thrones jam just boom, just love that. Or Star Wars or anything else.
Inspires you.
Yeah. Yeah, it does
Just
inspire
gives
you.
you that motivational drive and then you
Yeah.
start thinking about all of the themes that you've seen and
Yeah.
all the history you've had with it. It's like when you listen to an old song and you
Yeah.
have positive and negative emotions about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that same drive.
Yeah. I mean,
Scary, that.
yeah, it is. It is scary how music can essentially motivate you to make all sorts of games and that type of stuff. Um, yeah, it's very it's so interesting, when how you always get into a certain mood when it comes to music. Whether it's just like really calming music, whether you want to make a nice relaxed game, or
Therapeutic.
yeah, it's kind of very therapeutic. And then you get all these smooth, jazz type of things. I often listen to jazz. Just I listen to jazz very often when I develop. I just find it very calming. That's just my personal genre. I think you love pop, don't you? You just pop all day.
Yeah, I'm I just pop it all day. That sounds so
Pop it
wrong.
all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound appropriate, but hey, we'll take
Welcome
it
to
as
my
it
life,
is.
eh?
Yeah. So
Um,
it's quite fascinating. Of course, I wouldn't have the patience. I can even see if you look closely at the pictures, you can actually see there's a bit of terrain in there. I think there's actually a bit of terrain there. Yeah, yeah. That's insane how he even combined it with terrain. It's both terrain and just a little bit of just regular bricks and that type of stuff. I find that very challenging actually.
I
For
would
me,
love feedback to see if we're right or wrong.
well, I could be wrong, but I'm just looking at one of the pictures right now, and I think I see a little bit of terrain. But I could be wrong. But for me, it's either terrain or just blocky, styled, terrain and that type of stuff. But I find the blocky styled terrain often takes a bit longer. So yeah, that's.
Depends. There are some plugins out there
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
could actually increase your terrain,
yeah.
but
There's all sorts
chances
of.
of using that are very slim.
Yeah. Plugins help in all sorts of ways. I just can't. Oh, he definitely used the triangle tool plugin when he was making this map. That's for sure. I can
Oh,
definitely say that.
there we go.
Yeah.
I'd love to be proved wrong.
I'd love to be proved wrong.
So
If he did this all from scratch with no plugins, I would be I would be so mind blown away.
you'll be on your knees praying.
Yeah, I would. I would. I mean,
How?
how? Yeah, exactly. How? Yeah, I would never have the. I just don't think I have the grit. I have the. I've done a lot of. I have a grit. I have a certain grit to do a lot of terrain work. But this is just this. This supersedes anything essentially I've probably ever done as a developer. So, and I would say that with a lot of developers. I don't think a lot of people go this far. Even if you can't walk into each individual building, it's still fascinating. That would be another
GTA, you can't do that.
that would be another whole level though, if you could walk into every other building. But of course in GTA you can't do that. It's just very
You
simple.
can't do that because GTA wouldn't cope either.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah, that's true. That's true. GTA of course wouldn't. I don't know how well they'll do graphically. With GTA 5, I think the current map that they have now, I think that's
I
quite
think
small enough.
if they ever make GTA 6, they potentially, and the new Xboxes, new PlayStations, new PCs, faster processing, GTA could expand with a massive map, more buildings with insides, and the consoles will actually be able to cope with the.
Yeah.
So there is that as a possibility because the GTA scripts. There's loads of glitches and that, but then games without their glitches are boring. So
Yeah.
it adds some excitement to the game.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
Anyway, we should get on to our next topic. Sorry, just having just a bit of throat there. Now we are onto the Roblox swag pack controversy. So now I'm looking on the dev forums, and then now there was this new post. I don't know if it was 3 days ago, but there was this new swag pack bundle which is essentially being released. Apparently, it is being awarded to developers who achieve 40 million lifetime Robux. So for over the course of your existence on the Roblox platform, you have to have accumulated essentially 40 million Robux, which I think is like $145,000. I mean, I think I was looking at one of the comments and I was like, wow, okay then. That is insane. And there's a lot of controversy surrounding it because a lot of creators that are actually well known on the platform essentially don't have it. They don't have it because they haven't earned $145,000. So, I mean, it looks quite impressive.
To me,
but yeah, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you.
No, I mean I just find it quite ironic because they get a pair of socks, a cap, a jumper, a witch hat cola bottle, and a bag. And this looks like a top. I don't know what it is. It might be a top. That white thing is a studio. I don't know what that's in the picture.
Yeah.
But it looks to me that it's something that you would go camping with and you get very cold. I mean, it doesn't. There's nothing here that brags royalty rich or anything.
Yeah, it's definitely comfort clothing, I have to say. But I think that's the best clothing you could have for a developer, I have to say, because you're inside all the time and you want to be comfortable and stuff like that. And I mean, it makes sense. Christmas is also rolling around about now, and I think I would actually be very comfortable in a Roblox studio hoodie. I mean, I do kind of feel like it's... Oh, sorry, yeah.
There's one technical flaw.
Oh, okay.
You can only get it once. So if you ever damage it, you're screwed. But in a way, you'd probably store it. And I mean, some developers, I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
Probably could actually make loads of money by auctioning it.
Yeah. Oh, well,
I
saw on Twitter. I actually saw on Twitter people are actually auctioning it. People are actually selling their dev packs. I'm being serious. They actually are doing it. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so crazy.
They might, because they can make a quick buck, and they don't lose out much. I mean, if it was me, because I'm the type of person that likes to hold on to everything that I've earned, I'm the type of person that would probably put it in a window frame, put it on the wall. Yeah. But if you're not a collector and you just want to make a quick buck, you could probably sell this for over a couple grand if you get it to the right audience. Easy, because it's so niche. It's just waiting for someone to go, yes, please, and buy it.
Yeah. I mean, I could understand that. Yeah. I'm going to actually read you one of the top comments. It's like a very angry comment. It's on the dev forum. So there's a builder called McCaw, _Caw, C-A-W. He says, yes, let's award developers who make money because it's success, right? This is the milestone to reach. Not visits, not community impact. No, it's money. And for a backpack, some hats, 3 pairs of socks, and a witch's brew. Dear God. Interesting. So it's about, and it totals about $140,000 US. And like I said, it's that I find that ridiculous. A lot of people, can't get their hands on this thing, so a lot of people essentially are upset. I mean, I do think it's kind of favoritism in a way. But I mean, at the same time, it is for those, only those elite, those, essentially those top class of developers who, who contribute to Roblox the most financially. But now this is where things get a bit sticky now because, this is to do with money. This is what the most, this is where things get a little bit more rough around the edges because it's for money. It's for the money that you've accumulated. Nothing to do with community support or earning it in any other way with Roblox. Are they going to give YouTubers this? Well, no, because they never gave Roblox money. So it's a bit of a very big issue. And then as I could see, there's like that Witch's Brew. There's a Witch's Brew can, and that's a very old nostalgic thing. They got like those tick socks and stuff. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I would love having this pack. I would like having it. But at the same time, I don't want to, because it kind of does make me feel a bit cringy inside. It does feel a bit cringe. I mean, you definitely wouldn't want to walk around the Roblox studio, just anything with Roblox on. There's always like this meme that you'll probably get bullied or something, just if you walk around with Roblox merch. I mean, you probably would. I mean, I don't want to be mean or anything, but
maybe. But then maybe most of the people out there don't actually know the logo, because it's taken in a niche community of younger people. I think it just depends what street you walk down, really.
Okay.
What avenue you turn down.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's one issue. So it's on the high end of people making money. This looking at the product, they probably made this for easy under £100. Shipping to people will probably cost from around probably about 20 quid to 30 quid.
Yeah.
So we're probably looking at under £100 for the whole kit to be made, and probably cheaper because they mass produce it, like 100 sets of them. And then they then give it to people who have made the threshold that are massive.
Amounts of money, yeah.
So in a way, I mean, it's a drop in the water for Roblox, and it feels like it's a step in the wrong direction for actually motivating the developers that are getting close to success, proper success, and it just feels like you always feel like you're a mile away.
Yeah, like they're dangling something above your head. And they're like, I want to get it.
But then you can't get there.
It's quite ridiculous.
Because they've already set the threshold, and it's too high. They need to persuade us with something more accessible.
Yeah.
And I just don't think this is accessible. Not to your average developer.
We should move on to our next topic, though. But that was a whole lot interesting. Roblox's new Talent Hub. They're launching a new Talent Hub in which they're going to allow creators to essentially host their services on Roblox's side, so they can essentially control whatever goes on. Because I think they're probably very tired of people essentially looking for jobs on the forums. I think they're a bit exhausted about that. Do you have any thoughts on that, Penguin? On the new Roblox Talent Hub that's going to...
Yes. I mean, on the forums, you'd have portfolios of people to show their stuff off, and then you can then post on all of these apps like Builder, Scripter, Composer, and things like that to get what you need. And it wasn't very set in stone, and a lot of people to make comments and things like that on the dev forum wasn't very easy, because you'd have to go through Discord or go through the tedious forums and wait hours for a response, because it's no easy way to check from spam messages to non-spam messages. And the biggest issue is Discord, because Roblox doesn't really want to utilize Discord, and probably doesn't want to utilize Discord with the dev forum too much.
Yeah.
Because their threshold is 13 plus.
Yeah.
So if they can create a job center as such within the platform, you then eliminate a couple things. You eliminate scammers, because it'll be Roblox then controls the job thing. So if anyone sets a job up, sets the terms or anything, I'm sure that'll probably be registered and actually checked, and maybe there could be ways of taking people off of there if they're not saying what they're doing. So, for example,
I have to say there is a lot of...
They can regulate it.
Yeah.
They can regulate it. I'm sure they surely should be able to.
I feel there is a bit of false advertising, though, on the platform already, one of the things that I've recently heard on Twitter is often people are not being charged enough. For example, like some people are charging like 3,000 Robux or something ridiculous like that. And apparently there's a lot of outrage at the current moment that people aren't being paid enough for what they do. So I mean that's
No, I don't agree with that because why would you accept a 3,000 Robux deal in the first place? So that's
yeah,
their own fault for accepting
yeah,
a low deal.
mm,
That's like me walking down the
yeah,
road to the shop and
yeah,
accepting a £1 per hour wage. I mean, you wouldn't do that. So why would you do it in
yeah.
Roblox? So I don't know why you're complaining about something that you're agreeing to. Don't agree to it if you don't like it. I mean, that's the simple
Hmm.
solution.
Well, I
So I
mean,
don't agree with
there's
that,
but you see,
that at all.
there's this basic universal income, essentially. How to say this? Um, I don't know if it's a law or anything, but you have to at least have like $15 or something like minimum wage or something. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah. Listen,
Sounds about right.
we're gonna have to
Yeah.
take a short break now at the current moment. We'll be back with you all in just a few minutes. Today's episode is brought to you and sponsored by our very own clothing brand, provided to you by Teespring. For more information, check our merch link in the description below. And we are back. And we're going to be moving on to our next topic now, which is Phase 3 Roblox lighting release. Roblox has recently essentially released Future is Bright version 3 into studios. You can test it out for yourself if you want to. It's in studio at the current moment. So, personally, on my thoughts, I feel like I'm a bit cheated in a way because, you know, Roblox Roblox, their lighting system, I feel like they could have did this a bit more earlier in a way. But, whatever. Longer time in the oven, the better it is. But, I mean, I don't think there's really too much to exactly say on it. But,
Not always.
personally, I've had a lot of frustrations with Roblox lighting. A lot of it's all I know at the current moment is Roblox lighting, for Futures Bright is very buggy, and it's not really essentially the same quality as they advertised it to be. So, it does feel like we've been a bit cheated. But, it's the best we can get so far. Do you happen to have any thoughts, Penguin, on this, on this certain topic
I
discussing?
think, I mean, it has its pluses and minuses. But if I had a massive game, which I do, you have a massive game, I would feel really disinclined to use it because of the frame rate of the testing that we've done with it has actually made the game have a worse gameplay. And actually, it's disappointing because that we've been promised this amazing thing that's going to lighten your games up, and then you then realize that it's not really compatible with
Yeah.
large games with high park and things like that. So it's actually a letdown because they've overcomplicated it and overcomplicated the wheel. You know, if they made it more simple and more less sophisticated, but have the same feel and the same look,
I mean,
could be just as good
that's very hard to achieve, in
and
my
come out
opinion,
and be
though.
released quicker.
Because when you want efficiency, sometimes you have
It's
to have certain drawbacks. You can't exactly have, the full, beautiful look, unfortunately, because, this is what Roblox is limited to. Roblox could only go so far, essentially. They can't, I don't think there's any other directions they really could go in. When they first released it to the public, I don't know. I think they put it on GitHub. I'm not really sure. I have to say, I was just blown away. It was so impressive. The graphics were just, I just could not believe just how beautiful games actually looked with it. But but at the same time, I think they've learned in terms of efficiency that it's just very poor when it comes to having to, run highly efficient games that want to be efficient, especially when it comes to frames per second.
one massive drawback.
Yeah, I think
There's
that
one massive drawback. Games, when you play a game, it's not about how it looks.
yeah,
It's about how it feels and how to play. And
yeah,
you
that's
cannot
true.
play the game because your frame rate is crap or something isn't working because the game feels slow. You're going to be the first one leaving that game because you're not going to want to lag around and bug around the map.
Yeah,
You have to, it's just not the experience that you're going to
mm,
want to have with a game. You're
yeah,
going to want a smooth, fast, nice game which
mm,
feels top quality, modern, and fantastic. And I just don't think that that's going to deliver to many games out there. It just ain't going to deliver.
Yeah, I think
which
that's
is unfortunate for such a lovely
lighting system, I have to say. But I remember when I was in studio, I remember, I was just working on one of my games, and I just had this, I just put on future as bright, whatever future, lighting setting there is. And what I did was I essentially dragged a brick, and my frames on my PC just almost killed my PC. It was insane. It was just so laggy. It was so poorly done. I mean, but of course it was in beta at that time. I mean, it still isn't beta at the time, but at the current, at the current moment they've released. So I mean, there's certain things that they've probably, that they've probably fixed. I don't see much of a difference, at the current moment when I go into games and I see the lighting, and then I just, look back at the old beta lighting. I really don't see much of a difference. So it's a bit. I don't know, is it overwhelming or underwhelming? I don't know really how to say it. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. It's Roblox Future Lighting. It's Phase 3. I don't know if it's going to get any better. I hope it gets better. Because at the current moment, it's still a bit buggy, I have to say. There are a few lighting glitches still around, but, that's just how it is. It's a bit rough on the edges. Not every lighting system is perfect in every game. But, I mean, it's better than nothing, I have to say. I mean, I've been bored with Roblox lighting for a very long time. And personally, in my opinion, I still feel that Roblox lighting, the lighting at the current moment, just excuse future at the current moment. But the lighting at the current moment still kind of feels like 2013 to me. Maybe the only difference is just better reflection of the lighting on the surface materials. But other than that, it still feels the same to me. I don't know if you feel that way, but that's just how I think that's just how lighting has changed. At the current moment. So,
but then Roblox has been working on PBR and mesh deformation, so they have challenged themselves with a very large, broad amount of updates to offer to the platform.
That's true.
So they have set big goals, and they're trying to do it in a little time. It's not wise. It's not wise.
Well, I'm sure they've been spending months
time
and months
is
on all
money
that type
when
of
you
stuff.
want to pay someone to make it.
Yeah, we're still waiting on mesh deformation. Mesh deformation's like
they've released it in beta, which is good.
Yeah, I mean they used it in that.
But
They used
I've
that
not
in that
seen
event.
a practical use for it yet.
Well, I mean we did see the concert with the little NAS, that little NAS concert.
Mesh deformation. I noticed that all of the pieces were separate. It was not mesh deformation. I'm certain it was not mesh deformation.
How? I saw the characters physically move. I saw them. I never saw them cut into pieces. Yeah. They were quite literally 3D models. I mean, you know what? If there's one thing that Roblox actually needs to fix, let's just put mesh deformation aside. Let's put PBR aside. Let's put Roblox lighting aside. Is actually server load times when it comes to massive amounts of people joining a game at a single time. I absolutely suffered. I suffered so much trying to get into that event to watch that little NAS concert. I mean, it was horrible.
It crashed for me. It crashed. I mean, the game just froze over.
Yeah, it did. It did freeze over, yeah.
I had to watch a live stream. I mean, it was that bad.
You're staring at like a few blue futuristic sci-fi buildings. I mean, it was just...
But yeah, it's...
yeah.
That's just a massive flaw with teleportation.
Yeah, that is essentially just the... Yeah, but they really do need to fix that. Okay, so the next topic we're going to be getting onto, just briefly going over, is the Ready Player 2 event, which was essentially hosted by Ernst Klein, sorry, I think I'm butchering his name, Ernst Klein and David Baszucki. I mean, that's how I say his name. I don't know how anyone else says it. But, yeah, essentially they hosted this, this live event where they essentially got on a call and had a conversation between Roblox's relationship with the Ready Player One brand and all that, because I remember they had they had that event where you had to essentially find, you essentially just had to find all these sorts of I think they had to find these keys, and then once you got all three keys, you could unlock this special Dominus hat. So I mean that's really cool. Not much to say on it. One thing I'm really excited about this event is they just have these new hats. And they look like limiteds almost. They look like really good hats, I have to say. So I really do think this event is actually
good
worthwhile.
Quality.
Yeah, I do think this event is worthwhile, I have to say. So.
But how much time would you want to take to try and get a hat? I mean, we are talking about a 3D model in a game.
I mean, they do look good. It's just I feel like the games that they picked are very unfortunate. There's certain games that are. I just don't know how the whole mechanic works. I mean, one is like Shark. I played a game today trying to do the event. It's called Shark Bite or something like that. I think that's the game. I don't know. It's that Shark game. I think it was made by Stickmaster Luke. Or I could be wrong. I'm probably stupid or something. But yeah, I played that game and I essentially tried to get the hat. And I didn't manage very well. But the hat's.
Did you have any luck?
No, I did not give any luck,
shame.
but I'm just too lazy anyway, so... Okay, so anyway, now we're going to be moving on to another larger topic, which is Roblox atmospheric clouds. So now Roblox is introducing these new atmospheric clouds, which can essentially be toggled within the skybox, essentially, which I find is pretty awesome. You can change the density of the clouds. The clouds are pretty high, I have to say. So, I mean, I'm not really sure what direction Roblox is going with this, other than, just a sense of realism. So, yeah, I do think it's a cool feature, I have to say. But so far, what I've been seeing of it...
Very ambitious.
Yeah, it's very ambitious, I have to say. It does feel a bit primitive, I have to say. But, I mean, that's okay, because, that's how Roblox starts with all their, all their other things. Do you happen to have any thoughts on it? Just current thoughts to your mind?
I mean, it's a very, very good idea. Because it's new, it's something fresh, it's something that no one else has ever thought about. There's no plugins out there. There is some scripts to do the odd cloud thing, but they're on loop scripts, and they can sometimes have repercussions because they're on loop scripts. Loop scripts as the scripter community, as I've heard on speculation, they all hate it for some reason because it lags games. So
I didn't even know that.
I'm intrigued how this actually would affect gameplay as well, because you then have a loop script running constantly on the game, doing the clouds, that could have repercussions on frame rate because the script is requesting constantly for a new cloud to be generated and spawned. You've got the model loading.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're teleporting the bricks over and over again, I don't know.
Wait, why do you think they're bricks?
Have to wait and see.
Wait, are you thinking of the clouds as bricks?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just using it as a reference because, of course, all scripts that do something repetitive.
I'm not really sure what they use though. I mean, I don't know if it's a combination of particle effects or I don't know what it is. I can't think of the substance when it comes to my head. It's not like a beam or anything or a particle, so it just makes me think what the hell? I'm not really sure. And I certainly can tell by your opinion, it looks very stylish, but it doesn't seem to be very functional at the current moment. I mean, we haven't exactly tried it in beta, but from what you've heard...
From what I can sense, it's... I mean, I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, we could.
It could be a particle.
Yeah.
Just my concern with it is that if it's a particle emitters, as you should know, too many particles can create lag as well.
Yeah.
So nothing in the Roblox platform is bright sailing colours of being completely lag-free or completely and utterly clean for mass use. Like anything, use too much of it, it has repercussions.
Yeah. I mean, like, it just makes me
too
wonder
many
what
parts.
promise they're
That's
going to
a
make
prime
with it.
example.
What promise are they going to make with it? Because I don't think there's too many upsides to it exactly. It's not like, I don't think they're going to make that same claim, like what they did with the grass, where they said, oh, but the grass actually increases performance, and everyone's jaws just dropped. It was like, what? How? How is this increased performance? It's supposed to decrease performance because it's moving parts all the time. You know, it's just, it was very, so like everyone couldn't get their mind around it.
I'm sure those grass are beams. They're not parts.
Yeah.
I think
no, they're
beams.
certainly not parts. They're not beams either. They're not particles either. So.
No, but they are beams because they look exactly like a beam.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that because they don't have shadows. That's one thing that lets down the shadow. One thing that actually lets down the grass is that there's no shadows. But of course, if there were shadows for each blade of grass, it would essentially crash the whole platform. So I mean, that would be so crazy if you think about that.
Could do. But then they only show a small render circle around your grass. So I mean, you need deep fog to notice.
Deep fog, yeah.
To not notice that the grass doesn't continue.
Yeah.
But then, who wants to play a game in a foggy game?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
The one game that the clouds could benefit. Is that a GTA game?
Yeah,
the clouds could benefit it.
Yeah, that could benefit.
Because it would look good in the sky and the skyscrapers.
It would. I think it would make all sorts of games look good. I think it would make Jailbreak look gorgeous. I mean, they already have like current clouds in Jailbreak. I'm not a fan of Jailbreak, but I'm just saying certain games with a large open world, I think it would suit it very well.
Yeah, but my issue is with Jailbreak is they're very low poly, so I don't know how that would fare in with the.
See, one thing I've noticed in Jailbreak, they really do kind of have this weather system where there's just like these clouds that just clump up together, and then everything gets dark. I've been in the game and I've just seen it, and it looks so beautiful. But I think the clouds are going to enlighten that more, and they might have to get rid of those low poly clouds. Actually, speaking about the clouds and the effects that they have when they clump together and all the darkness, they don't make the game darker when they clump up together. They actually don't. These clouds don't actually cast shadows on surfaces, so it's kind of a letdown in a big way. In my opinion, I would really actually enjoy the clouds if they casted shadows, because it'd be far more realistic. I would love to just climb on top of a world and just like all these mountains and hills and then just see all these clouds just hovering off in the distance, and just seeing these shadows, these giant shadows casted. But I could probably only dream. I mean, really, it's going to be a while.
I struggle to find
they do that. Yeah.
Is there any weather with their cloud system? Like, can you change the color of the clouds?
Yeah.
Because that would make it more. You can change the seasons to rainy. You can change them to dark, and then the particle effect for the rain. Things like that.
Yeah.
Would make a game have the final touches, because you can use a local script for the rain, and then you make the clouds change color for the whole game. That would make sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think.
I wonder if you could change the color of the clouds. I'm not really sure if you could do that, but I think that would be perfect for alien planets. When you want to have like an alien type of. This news I think is actually quite old. I don't know. I think this is actually last week, but it's still interesting to talk about.
But then definitely.
I just don't know what they're going to do with clouds, but so far it's looking good. It's just there's just a bit of flaws, but that's what happens when things are in beta. They're not exactly perfect. We're not going to get shadows or clouds anytime soon. Not that I know of so far. But I think they would also lag games a lot if there was some sort of lighting impact with the clouds and that type of stuff. One thing I don't think also with these clouds is I don't think they are affected by light. But anyway, we'll talk on that another day.
It's a drawback.
Yeah, just another drawback. Anyway, now we're moving on to just a short brief topic: RB battles. I personally haven't been keeping up with this. It's essentially a battle royale event hosted by Roblox, where just all these YouTubers go to all these games and essentially battle it out. to essentially become a winner of this RB battles thing. You know, I don't really have a lot of favorite YouTubers in there. You know, I mean, not that I know of really. I'm not really a YouTuber person. I don't watch YouTube, you know, Roblox YouTube very often. What I know so far is there's like these 3 swords that essentially all connect together, which is quite cool. It's like 3 swords that essentially, if you all wear them together, it creates this one giant sword that spells like RBB or I don't know, RRB. I'm not exactly sure what it says, but yeah, it essentially states that on the sword. I think that's actually pretty cool, I have to say. I mean, that's one of the most unique Roblox hats I've ever seen. I think you could somewhat get it if you complete a few challenges or something, so, yeah. Any small thoughts, or... Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good to have a battle and compete with everyone and try to become the best, but then you're going to get people who don't win it and spent a lot of time trying to get it, and it's just gonna. I feel bad for the people that have spent the time trying to get this hat and then fail.
I mean, that's almost with all the other events.
I mean,
but yeah, we're gonna actually take a short sponsor break. We'll see you in just a bit. Need clean, comfy and stylish based Roblox clothing? Well, we have just the right options for you with our very own merchandise provided from Teespring. The DevCast merchandise clothing provides the perfect level of comfort, suited for your very own development needs, whether outside or inside. If you are interested in purchasing, check out the merch link in the description below. Okay, and we are back. And let's move on to our next topic, shall we? So, the topic that we're going to get into is the Holiday Developer Game Jam. So at the current moment, Roblox is essentially hosting a holiday developer game jam in which you and your friends can essentially team up together and work together to create a holiday themed game and have a chance at earning some epic prizes. So now I find this quite intriguing because at looking at the post on the forums here, essentially the first prize, the first place prize you essentially get is a fancy computer monitor that you can add to your collection, or replace your old one with a small holiday party with a developer engagement team. What? Okay, that's plus some top secret digital swag. That to me is very vague. I don't know who I'm going to meet. I mean, so they're giving you a fancy computer monitor here. That makes me question, what are they giving you? What brand is it? I don't know what brand is it. Maybe it's a Roblox branded monitor. I'm not exactly sure.
Can we trust that?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if I could really. I mean, they could just probably give you an awful monitor for all you know. I mean, it could be cheap. It could be awful. There's no.
Sure, Roblox can't have that bad intent to give you an awful monitor. Surely not.
They could be budgeting.
This work because all the games that you make for Roblox is going to generate money. So Roblox in return is going to give you something crap. Defeats the objective of what Roblox wants to do, and that is make money and please their developers. So I don't know how that would please them.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, with the developer engagement team. I mean, that's okay. So with the development engagement team, not a developer engagement team. That's quite interesting. So I'm assuming they are the developer engagement team on the Roblox forum, the forum platform. So that's quite interesting. I mean, I think that would be quite interesting to speak to them.
Is that like a helpline that you can call up, or is that something that they could, or they hook you up with the latest beta stuff to work on your own game?
Yeah,
so many possibilities and doors that we don't know it can unlock.
Yeah,
I mean, this team could be 1 person to 3 people, 5 people inside the Roblox company who are open to talk to the top people of this campaign of the Holiday Dev Game Jam. I mean,
so
there's so many questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions. What are you exactly going to talk about? When you have a holiday party, just like, what is this holiday party? Is it a call with them? Is it a game that you join them and say, "Hooray, we won"? Is it like a little, it's a bit vague on that side, but it's quite interesting. And some secret digital swag. You know what? I'm going to ironically say this, but I think this is so much more better than the whole entire swag pack thing that, the Roblox swag pack that they're giving out. Because, it is a monitor. I'd rather get a monitor over the swag pack, let's be honest here. It must be far more expensive, because it's actual technology. You're getting a monitor. There's no... I'd rather actually say that. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Depends your preferences, because that monitor could have built-in obsolescence. It means that it could break in a reasonably quick fashion, instead of at least the items you get would actually have a shelf life that you can actually maintain them and look after them, and they will last a long time, instead of a monitor.
It's timeless. It's just exists.
My monitor could break today, and built-in obsolescence. So
that's true, but in my opinion, technology, I think, is just so much more of a better gift rather than just a bit of clothing. But yeah, it's so interesting. I would probably win that event, but like I said, I don't really have a team at the current moment. I'm probably rather spending more time with family during the holidays than with friends on Roblox. But I guess a lot of people just spend it that way.
And taking a break.
Yeah, just taking a break from life.
Entertaining this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. This podcast that we're just streaming for all of you. So on to the next topic is the top contributor role got removed from the Dev Forum platform. What does this mean? We do not know.
It's sad.
Well, yeah, it means a lot of sadness in the hearts of many who are top contributors because they worked hard to get to that point. But essentially, Roblox has just snatched it and said, nope, you are no longer a top contributor. We are going to figure out a way how to do things differently, essentially is what they said on their post when they responded to the, I don't know if it was backlash or how people were feeling about it, but it must be very...
There's an issue.
Oh.
There's a massive drawback, because top contributor role was for the people who are the most active and they speak the most and keep the dev forum active, because all they did was talk and communicate and express their thoughts and be broad to the community. Now, by eliminating them and wiping them out of their role and their status, you've actually annoyed them, and that actually could have a conflicting thing, because of course you've got Unity, which most Roblox developers, I hate to say this, do go to Unity because that's the mesh, and that's why mesh deformation is so important for Roblox to compete. We then have the top contributors who are now being, they're not, the top contributors could have a really successful game that's made Roblox a couple £100, and they don't get the swag pack, and in return, they get a demotion in the dev forum.
They just get removed. Yeah, that's true. So far, the only top roles remaining, essentially, is the community editor and the community sage. Now, I think those are all on different types of, levels. So, it's very broken now, I would say, the system. Yeah. So
it's got a massive hole in it now that's just unknown.
So essentially, Roblox's response was, we are looking into more overarching and scalable ways that we can surface good content to users without the need for forum titles or flares on individual users. So it seems like it's more of a structure thing, if that makes sense. It seems like more of an entitlement, I think. Just more like, floundering around with this sort of... I'm just based on speculation. I'm assuming it's based on that issue, that they're not really comfortable with a lot of people sitting in that position of, power in that way, and just, not doing much with it rather than existing with it. So I can simply understand that, really.
Because when they give it to them, they don't. It's quite hard to take it away from them because they can easily just talk and be active in a month, and I doubt there'll be an algorithm to take them down. It'll probably be handpicked.
Yeah, I'm sure they're looking for more contributional ways that you can essentially, pay more, just pay more respects to that role within the community. I mean, I think it's kind of a right move on
justified.
Oh.
I don't, because I don't think it's justified. Because they should have warned them in advance instead of doing it so suddenly.
I mean, we don't know. They could have sent a message
it's like
in
1
DMs.
minute.
We're not exactly sure. We could be wrong on that. But I mean, I think it is quite weird to do that abruptly, so suddenly, just like, oh, well, we're removing it.
1 minute, you're a contributor. The next minute, you're a member.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. You're
very welcoming or nice.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I would be very annoyed.
Yeah, it does.
So I have a lot of sympathy.
I'm sure there are some really great developers out there, I have to say. Some contributors that actually do contribute to the community as much. But, of course, maybe there's likely a few bad apples. Of course, they just don't really take that role seriously and don't fulfill the role of what a community contributor should be. So, that's very...
No guidelines. I mean, I read the whole post. There's no guidelines.
Yeah, there's no
It's very vague. So it's not like it's set in stone what they are. What they do is contribute by talking and being active. And I think that's the only thing they need. I think they serve that role well. So my opinion is very mixed.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was great. On to our next topic. The 90% market fee drops down to 30% across the board for all players. There is no premium required, and no higher taxation on people who are non-premium. I think this applies for... this certainly applies for sales gained from VIP servers, paid access games, plugins, and that's essentially where it applies. I don't know if it's across the board. Oh wait, no, never mind. I think it says a unified marketplace for free VIP servers. Oh wait, no, I'm not really sure. I think I need to read a bit more into it. But essentially, yeah, the marketplace has dropped dramatically, and I don't know whether to call this like a win or a loss. I don't know how to feel about it. It's not. I don't necessarily have an opinion on this too much. But I think it's essentially good.
Opinion.
Yeah, things are becoming more accessible to non-premium members. So I think that's great. There's no sense of division. There's no sense of hierarchy. Everything's more unified. It's like Roblox is shifting more to this socialistic approach in a way, if that makes sense. It's more, more together. And I think that's good. I think it's a step in the right direction. I mean, personally with me, I struggled with certain things. I don't know. I think I remember there was a marketplace fee for audio. I'm not sure if there was, but I think I remember having to try upload something. But the marketplace fee was insane, and it just deterred me from doing that completely. I was like, no ways. But now I've got to get premium. But it seems like they figured a way out. So, I mean, what do you think, personally?
I think it's a good idea to lower it, but
Yeah.
I just feel like making it even across the board actually is a big, massive blow to the premium member community.
That's true.
Because being a premium member has a lot of perks, and it feels like the perks are being picked off one by one. I mean, the groups was one of the first ones that really annoyed quite a few people that I know, because they bought premium for months to get more groups, and then they wiped it across the board for everyone to get loads of groups.
Yeah.
So it just feels like Roblox are trying to remove premium, because they removed BC, TBC, or Builders Club, Turbo Builders Club, and then OBC. And I just feel like they then simplify that to premium, 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 and you don't actually know if you're premium, premium, or premium.
Yep,
Because you
it's
don't know
just
if you're
premium.
PC,
It's three
TBC, or
versions.
OBC because they're premium, premium, premium.
Yeah, I have to say, I
So I
really
mean,
do miss TBC and OBC and all that, the little hard hats and stuff. But I have to say, it's not really much of a big difference. I
yeah,
actually checked the calculations, and Roblox was, I think they were only earning $3 more total than their original outcome towards the end of the year. I think I was just calculating it, and it's not really much of a difference. But I do think it's a bit of a letdown that there's no sense of structure in terms of the premium hierarchy. But at the same time, it also makes me think, if they are taking things away from premium, what are they actually adding to it? Like, what are they adding to it to make up for that? I'm not sure at the current moment. I don't know if they announced that. I'm not really sure. I think I still need to read up on it just a little bit more. But
it's an unknown phenomenon that is going on with premium because I don't know what its direction. I don't know where it's going to go, what it's going to be. It's just one of them uncertainties where you just don't know, uncertainties where you just
yeah.
don't know. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, Dev, do you have any ideas on what they could add in the future?
You know what? I actually have a very big fear. I think actually one of the news topics we actually should have discussed within this whole thing, and I don't think we actually discussed it, is that Roblox is actually at the current moment is actually thinking of creating their own marketplace for where you can actually sell your own models. And I was thinking that could have some very disastrous consequences if you could somehow mix that with premium and make it only a premium feature. But actually, I thought about it. I was like, you know what? If you make this model selling thing available to the public, the whole entire public, I think it would be more of a disaster if you just allowed it to, freely spread out. But if you made it premium, it kind of puts it on lockdown on, mostly those who can afford premium and, enjoy the most, that they can get out of the Roblox
Do
platform.
it. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that would be good for that. I really think that. But I'm really quite worried about the, the model marketplace and being able to sell models. Because, of course, stealing exists. It exists on the platform. Stealing and copying exists on the platform. And, it's Roblox, has a very, very hard time with it. They don't exactly want to touch situations when it comes to developer trust.
They
don't want to
bother to get involved.
Yeah, they don't want to get involved in any of that.
Actually, I have a message when I asked Roblox on the dev forum, and they actually responded back with a very interesting response to stealing and protecting models.
Yeah.
And it left me
Oh, yes, I remember.
in a very...
Yeah. Left us
So
very
the
clueless.
question I asked Roblox is a question about how to defend your group against rogue developers. And Roblox's response was, hello, unfortunately, we cannot assist with developer disputes. We recommend using report abuse or using our customer support channel if there's any verifiable terms of service violations. So our moderation teams can take a look and otherwise resolve this in private with those others. So unless they break the terms of service, they just get a slap on the wrist from no one.
There's
From
nothing
just
you
a
can
person who's angry.
I mean, that's why this is
So
where I actually
the person
started.
that's angry
Yeah.
is gonna slap them on the wrist, and that's it. And Roblox will do nothing.
This is where I actually start to feel sorry
Because
for
I
all
read
these
the
people.
terms and service.
Yeah. Because I feel bad for the clothing marketplace now. Because, Roblox is trying to, at the current moment, Roblox is trying to sort out the, just duplication of clothing. It's just all over the place. Everything is just being duplicated constantly, because people are stealing clothing. And, how do you stop this from happening? Well, clearly, Roblox has not stopped it from happening, because now it's such a large issue. It's almost unimaginably ignored. You know what I'm saying? You cannot ignore it. Same thing goes with models. There is already a large problem with models. Models are being duplicated, and resold left, right, and center. I swear to God, if you type in the word tree in your toolbox, you're gonna find thousands of trees that are all the exact same thing. And this is what scares me about this open marketplace: is where are the rights for the creators? Where are they? Because at the current moment, it seems like there's none. There is just no.
But then Roblox does say there's a massive flaw, because Roblox states that all assets that go into Roblox are owned by Roblox. So you've got that conflicting with.
There's no individual right.
Who actually owns it?
Yes, who actually owns it? Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. No one knows. That's what the most frustrating thing about it is.
Because Roblox says that they will own it, but then it's actually made by you. And then you're just left. I mean, Roblox and you are on the fence, and no one is going to jump off that fence. You're just going to sit on the fence, and everyone's going to just scratch their heads going, what do we do?
Yeah, what do we do?
Roblox ain't don't have the time to bother. We don't have the authority to stop it. So we're just going to do nothing. And this is what's happening with clothing, models, and music.
Yeah,
They're the three main ones. And it's even happening with games, when you download games. But that Roblox has cracked down on that. That's the only one that Roblox has actually cracked down somewhat. Is uncopylocked games. But that doesn't stop it, though.
It is definitely a terrifying future. I can't feel comfortable about thinking, a marketplace where you could sell products and just do all these things, but at the same time, there's a lot of flaws and loopholes. So, yeah. Anyway, on to the next topic. There was a great discussion on that. There is a new possible competitor to Roblox called Blankos. I've recently seen ads around it, and I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know whether it can directly compete with Roblox or not. It's it's very out there. It has like a very toy-like style to it, so I mean I don't really think it's going to get far. But I mean at least they're trying. I mean in my opinion. I mean what are your thoughts, Penguin?
I think it's varied because the way you build is like a mixture between Fortnite and Gary's mod.
That's true.
Because you can build the same way with like a thingy with like Gary's mod. You've got that weird little tool thing, and you can place down objects. You can do that in that game. I don't know if it's going to compete with Roblox, which I think is outrageous. I don't think it can compete because there's just nothing that it can offer. I mean, apart from building, I don't know if it's going to have the same feel, the same jazz about it that Roblox has.
That's
it's
true.
Just one of them.
That's so interesting.
What's your thoughts?
I actually joined their Discord server recently, and they've made an announcement where they said private beta will still be running until the 10th, but the Founders Pack sales will be ending. I don't know, something to do with just all sorts of sales and stuff. But now, this is what's so interesting now. They had a private beta. Now, it says in their private beta, we saw 100,000 registered accounts. Discord channel has over 15,000 fans. 16,000 new blocks created during the private beta in 2 weeks. 16,000 new blocks created in private beta in 2 weeks. Now, they are just starting out. This is just starting, just right now. This is the birth of it at this very current moment. So, I mean, it's quite hard to really judge at the moment. I mean, by the looks of it, though, I mean, it's quite minuscule, I have to say. It's quite small. I mean, I see another announcement over there. They say another wave of beta invites are out. I think then it says, I think they said something about you may see Blankos, some Blankos partying in the Golden Joystick Awards. So they were somewhat included in the Golden Joystick Awards, which is actual, I think it's a gaming event. It's like the Emmys or something like that for games. And I find that quite interesting.
Yeah.
So that's actually quite cool. So they are somewhat relevant in the gaming world, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough at the current moment for Roblox. You know, because Roblox dominates a very large market. Anyway, so let's hop on to our next topic, shall we?
Doesn't seem very flexible.
Yeah, let's hop on to our next topic. China approves Roblox amongst 42 import games. So as you know, China, of course, is a very closed-in country when it comes to content, and Roblox somehow managed to essentially get in. I don't know how exactly that happened, but I think you would be able to explain that, Penguin, because I'm not really too familiar with Chinese laws and how that works.
I'm intrigued with what games they've allowed, because I imagine murder mysteries would be a laugh. I mean, start killing everyone. Trying to kill everyone with murder. I doubt China would allow that. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah.
Knowing now China has very strict laws and restrictions on their communities and population.
Yeah.
And I find it very, very restricting, very thingy, because as research has shown, they blocked YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Snapchat, and they've just blocked the whole lot.
Yeah.
So they've blocked pretty much all social media platforms. And even though they blocked YouTube, China has come up as the 11th most watched on YouTube, which means they probably are using VPNs and proxy servers to get around the Great Firewall. They call it the Great Firewall. Yes. They made a very policy name for it.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. I mean, that's quite interesting.
The Great Firewall. I mean, it sounds like Trump's Great Wall.
Yeah, Great Wall, yeah. Just essentially the giant wall, yeah. I mean, they're blocking anything, really.
Now, a firewall is something that will block a connection or something that is coming across the internet as a package or a website. It could block a lot of things, but a proxy server or a VPN will just cancel that firewall completely.
Yeah.
So I don't know why China would bother trying to block it in the first place.
I'm sure they use VPNs all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they probably have a pirate application that they probably could get, which probably goes around that firewall even better than the VPN one.
Yeah.
I mean, God knows what they do out there.
Yeah.
Now, I feel bad for the Chinese because they're very limited on the amount of information they get because of what they can access.
Yeah.
Legally, I should say.
I mean,
God knows what they can access illegally. That's another story.
Yeah.
But then, knowing that Chinese make the most products and everything, I don't think it's as much of a problem.
Yeah,
it's
of
not
course.
Like
they're
their
of course
economy
a global
is
superpower.
booming,
Yeah.
But then coming in, but then have you heard, Dev? Everyone wants to go renewable. Electric cars, hybrids are getting have got a plan to be phased out in the United Kingdom. I don't know about South Africa.
No, not
but
sure.
So anyone who's bought a hybrid, 5 to 10 years after they banned the creation of petrol and diesel cars, or diesel and petrol cars, making of them,
That's
10
amazing.
to 5 years later, you are banned on hybrids as well. So you could have bought a hybrid that is not even going to have 100 years lifespan. I mean, even half that.
Well, that's interesting.
I mean,
in terms of
isn't that
adapting
a worrying
to the
prospect?
Yeah, in terms of adapting to the world, just for climate change and stuff, questioning whether how China is going to adapt to the world and how we adapt to China. I remember when working on one of the games that I worked on in the past. I think you were working on it with me, of course. Yeah, you were. We were essentially thinking about language, and I remember we watched RDC. And they talked about how language is so important to growing your game. And, I felt that was so important. And one of the greatest things was the connections with China. And there was certain, things like you couldn't use skeletons or like red or green coloration or something like that. Because they often meant symbolisms to certain things in China that were inappropriate. So you kind of had to be wary. So now it seems like Roblox is still paying attention to that market. You know what I'm saying? And they're adapting to China and their decisions, on, how gaming should be in their own country, essentially.
It's not just China. If you look in the
world,
website, when you build websites, and you want to have a car insurance or a buy button, you wouldn't have a grey buy button. You would have a red buy button or a green buy button. And the reason you have a red or a green buy button is because green means go, buy it. Yeah. Red means caution. Do you want to buy it? And it just triggers that incentive that go. Them thinking, I might buy that. Yeah. And it's just that little, colours are very vital to keeping
marketing and all that.
Keeping people's minds. It's scary. I mean, you wouldn't think that.
But anyway, I would like to thank you all for coming out and listening to this podcast. It's been a really good. It's been a lot of fun, talking about all these topics and things like that. I'm really enjoying this podcast so much. I'm sure you are. Jeez, throat's a bit rusty. I've been talking for a while. But anyway, we'll see you all next week. And take a look at our weekly creations highlight. We have them every week. These weekly roundup podcasts are essentially every Friday. We often do interviews on a Wednesday, but today we're going to be doing a live. It's a weekly roundup today. Yeah. Any thoughts, Penguin, before we go?
Yeah. If you have an idea or a...
Sorry, what? You kind of cut out.
If any of you viewers... Oh, ready? Oh. If any of you guys have an idea or a suggestion, please link it below. Would love to know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.